Now we're on.
All right. Paul started recording, so now we're going to go to number 2 on the agenda, introductions. I'm Marina. I'm the facilitator for the meeting, and we are Team 1. Amber?
I am Amber O'Neill, and I will be the jokester this meeting. Cheyenne.
I'm Osborne, and I'll be the timekeeper. Sorry, Isadora.
You're good. I am Isadora, and I am the challenger this weekend. All right, Aaron.
And I'm Aaron, and I'm the submitter for this module.
And we're going to end on the host. My name is Paul.
All right. And I'll give it back to Amber for the joke of the day.
Oh, guys, I'm ready. I was thinking of you, Paul. Okay, hold on. Let me find it. I screenshotted it today. I don't have a joke of the day, guys, but I do have Harry Potter jokes. You're welcome.
Yes.
Okay, so I picked 2 of them. Okay, so the first one is, I've lost it. Oh, okay. If you don't, why don't you get Harry Potter jokes?
Why?
Because there's something wrong with you.
That's a good one.
I know. I thought that was hilarious. It's fine. I'm cracking up. I'm like, this is funny to me. That's okay. Okay, and then the other one. Okay, this is for Alan Rickman. Okay.
Oh,
Why did Severus Snape stand in the middle of the road?
why?
So nobody could tell which side he was on.
True, that's
I'm done. Okay.
Those were good.
Indeed. I did crack up at those earlier.
All right. Next is the icebreaker. So if you could spend an hour or 2 with anyone in the world who you admire, living or dead, talking about their life, who would you choose and why? Isadora, do you want to start?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I had 2 people. So I think the person I would choose would be my friend from Doha, Qatar, because me and her butt heads and everything. So but at the end we ended up getting the same point of view. We just have different ways of telling. So I think I would choose to be with her. Her name is Patricia. All right, is that it?
Yeah, oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
Do I pick somebody else? Yeah. Okay. Paul.
I am full of technical issues tonight. Sorry about that. All right, so my answer, deceased, is Mel Blanc, really famous voice actor. He was the original Bugs Bunny and The Martian, and he did pretty much everybody back then. It was just all him. It was ridiculous. But there's just so many stories of him being really warm and inviting, very entertaining. He was just a really genuinely beloved person, and I think I'd have a blast just sitting down with him. We don't even have to talk about the job. We could honestly talk about people walking by us, and I think he'd be entertaining. So I would like to do that.
Oh.
Let's go over to Marina.
Okay. I would probably sit down with Michelle Obama.
Me too. I'll pick someone else.
Oh, did I say? She's just so inspirational to me. And additionally, my sister worked under Barack Obama's administration, and she got to interact with Michelle a lot. And just the things I've heard about how genuine of a person she is, she just inspires me. So, all right, Cheyenne.
Okay, so I'm a big Jesus nerd and Bible nerd. So Peter from the Bible, because he was one of Jesus's main people, and just hearing about his life and just all the miracles that he got to witness and everything, I think would be super cool. Oh. And Aaron.
I would probably pick Tyler Joseph, who is the lead singer for the band 21 Pilots, because I absolutely love them. I would love to sit down and talk with him just about anything. I would just like to hang out with him because he's just such a funny dude. And I just I love that band so much. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. And then Amber.
I'm last. I had to think on the fly because Obama too. And Beyonce and I, we share a birthday month, but I wouldn't spend my time with her. I think that I would really love to spend time with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's a good one.
About how genuine he is and how down to earth he is. And I have always been a Keanu Reeves fan. And then, of course, that has been brought back with Netflix. I don't know, have you guys watched the one with him and, was it Ali Wong? Always Be My Baby. Always Be My Baby.
No.
Hilarious. It is hilarious. I laughed, I cried, and I was like, Kiana, this is why I loved you from Speed to A Walk in the Clouds to now. It's fine. And he's aging so wonderfully, too. So. Is everybody?
Yeah. I think so. I also share the same birthday as Tyler Joseph, so I thought that was cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to team members' preparedness. I can go ahead and start. I went through everything. I watched the 2 TED Talks and I submitted the videos, so I am all set. Paul?
Also, all covered from the TED Talks to the George Washington website, the chapter 1 of the textbook that I never want to pick up again. Yeah, all good. Notes are turned in and whatnot. So, how about you, Amber?
I did. I reviewed everything. The last, what is it? The article. I forgot where it was. Off of the George Washington website. I did just skim through that. I didn't read that whole thing through. That's just too sleepy. I apologize. But
I was wide awake and I skimmed it too. So I mean, but she says to skim things. So.
Oh, okay. Well then, never mind. I'm prepared. Check. Cheyenne.
I read everything, turned in notes. I also just skimmed that long article, but good enough. So, Isadora.
I read everything. I got everything turned in. I was actually confused too because I didn't see any note to turn in. So I did what I think one of you guys suggested on a text message, copy everything and send it to her. I did that. And I just actually finished the Team 6 video as well. So that's it. Aaron?
Yeah, I did everything. I did the textbook, which, oh my gosh, y'all, it's rough. That textbook is like so boring. I did that, and then I did all the articles, like the successful teams always harmonious, team dynamics, the conflict one, and then I did the 2 TED Talk videos, and I turned in my notes, so I'm prepared. Marina, did you go?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you went first. Amber, did you go? Oh, did everyone go?
I think so,
know.
yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Okay. Agenda item 6 is review Dr. Chanley's feedback, which last time I checked an hour ago, we didn't receive it.
No, we're kind of early, so.
Yeah, which makes sense because we are doing this one like just 48 hours after the last one, so.
She probably saw ours was like 2 hours and 45 minutes and was like, oh, no, I'm not going to watch that.
So we can just move that to our next meeting.
Yeah.
Move that to and I can tell you one thing she'll say, guys, it took you too long. I agree.
Yeah.
In advance.
It did.
Yeah. Come on, timekeeper. I'm challenging you today to do that.
Where does it even say like how long we've been in this?
Paul can see it.
Huh?
Because he's the host. The host can see it, I think.
Okay.
Or
yes, we've been here for 10 minutes, so we're
I just usually go off what time it is, so it's been about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I watched the Team 6's video, theirs was 39 minutes long, and ours was like an hour and 39.
39?
Like,
I thought they had to be at least an hour.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's really small because they only have 3, so I don't know how it works for them. There's only
I haven't watched it yet, but is that the entire meeting or is it a segment of?
Oh yeah, sorry. Also, sorry I sent such long texts. I'm like not good at brevity. All right, so essentially the module 3 assignment video is it just needs to be 30 minutes long, and all we're doing is there's no notes to turn in before it. All we have to do is watch 30 minutes of Team 6's video and like
already.
notes.
Okay.
And then all we do is just draft up a team, like how we think they did.
I have a question. So where do you find the Team Six's video? I didn't even know you could watch it yet.
Just posted out today. She posted today.
Oh, is it in an email?
No,
it's on the module.
Oh.
Yeah, click the next page after probably whatever page we're going to use to turn this in. It's like on one of those modules.
3.2.
3.2.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 7, review agenda and make any needed changes. I think the only change we need to make is just bumping next
feedback.
Yeah, next meeting we'll review both feedbacks
At the same time. Okay.
Does anybody else have any changes they want to make? All right, cool. Okay, number 8, discussion of reading and videos. So starting with the textbook, chapter 1, why virtual teams fail. Aaron, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, so mostly skimmed through it, but what I did get out of it, I just, it was, I feel like we heard a lot of it before already. So it was like a lot of it was like, why virtual teams don't succeed. And some of them I got were like, we lack face-to-face, and there's like time zone differences and like lack of resources and certain skill trainings. But I think ours is like, we kind of, we have the face-to-face, which is nice. We're accounting for time zone differences as best as we can. And I think we have really good resources like with the class going on. So that's nice. And then we don't really need skill training or anything like that. So I think it's it's pretty good. I think we'll be very successful. Cheyenne, do you want to go?
Yeah. So what I got from it was flexibility was basically the main key, kind of going off what Erin was saying, but because we're in 3 different time zones and because we're doing things virtually instead of like face-to-face, we have to be flexible and be willing to sacrifice some of our like normal routine things in order to attend these meetings. And so if we like use this, then I feel like we'll be less likely to fail. And just continuing to use our resources and checking in with each other and being available whenever we can. Paul?
Do you guys mind if I move on to the next part of this question where it talks about causes of conflict and whatnot? Or causes of failure, that is. So the book itself highlighted, and I thought it hit it pretty well, despite the book being the book. But when it covers like lack of engagement, lack of cooperation, which can definitely be huge, but I was reading through it and going, I don't really think we'll have this issue. Maybe the cat doesn't want to cooperate. But I think the rest of us do a pretty good job of staying engaged and staying cooperative, communicative. But I can definitely see how that could just tear a group apart. So it was nice to see that highlighted, even if we have heard it before and pretty much everything else. Marina.
Kind of actually going off of what you said about like common reasons that a virtual team would fail, like lack of clear goals or lack of direction. I think one good thing about our team is that we all know what the goal is and we all have like a clear direction, like because we have the agenda right in front of us, we have the assignment instructions, and we're all just like looking to get an A. So I think it's really cool that we have this common goal, and I think that's gonna like one strategy we're gonna use as a team to offset the pitfalls of not having a good virtual team. Amber?
I agree with everything. Specifically, the fact that we have the common goals even though we're in a virtual team and practicing, it's not really going to be the same as dealing with different types of roles combining together. So I would think that in the future, if we're experiencing that, it'll still be new, even though we have the practice from this course itself. So I'd say just be mindful of that, I guess, as individuals.
I guess I'm the last one. I don't know. So I put like pretty much everything that you guys said because I got the percentage and everything. But then I was kind of comparing because I I was reading that, and then I thought about the video that I watched with the Team 6. Like, it says the challengings. We are a big team, and that's, like, one of the things it says, because a big team is a lot challenged to, like, get everybody on the same time and everything. But I was like, you know what? We got this. We were pretty good. We're like, we stayed late, yes, but we all a team, and we're trying to get everything together. So I feel like we're doing a good job, and I don't think we're going to fail. We got this.
Indeed.
Okay, cool. I think everybody went, right? Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So moving on to B, are successful teams always harmonious? I can go ahead and start. So one thing that I liked about the article was that it kind of highlighted that, like, there have been successful teams that have had turmoil, and there have been successful teams that are, like, super harmonious, and those aren't necessarily, like, magic ingredients for team performance. I would say, like, the key point of the article that I picked up on is that there are, like, 2 factors that contribute to superior performance, and those are psychological safety and the ability for a team to kind of know their purpose, know why they're doing and what they're doing, and be able to use that to, like, inspire the team. Isadora?
Yay, cool. I got that too. But I also put in that we are pulling it all in the same direction at the end. That's why most of the teams were, like, what the reading says, they are harmoniously, because they, at the end, we all get to the same direction to what our goal is. But that's what, like, that was the key thing that I got from the whole reading. But yeah. Amber?
Yes. For me, I thought one of the key points is that harmony is not necessarily the magic ingredient, and that dysfunctional and dysfunctional and inefficient teams can still produce, high yielding results, and still can be very capable. I would say it's similar to that of a family. When there are visitors over, the house is clean and everything is in order. This is what we're presenting, and this is what you see, and that's it. Not necessarily all that's in that, that closet, that Monica closet. I don't know if anybody understands my friend's reference, but the Monica closet mess versus what I'm presenting to everyone else. I would say that is very similar to that. Mm-hmm. Paul, go ahead.
All right. So between Marina and Isadora, that was everything I put too. But I expanded upon it, kind of touched back with the first prompt here, that with the psychological safety and the clear definition of, like, group roles and our target audience, we are in a fortunate situation because we were kind of gifted the second part. We know what we're doing and we know who we're talking to, because it's us and then it's our professor, and that's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. Except for the team feedback, in which case eventually we'll talk to another team. But the first part, that psychological safety, is, I think, something that every group has to make for themselves. And I think we did that really quickly, except for the whole Android thing. Like, that's not cool. But
I mean,
otherwise,
several weeks for you to change still. You can upgrade at any time, Paul.
Yes, I could, to another Android.
No, yes. iPhone.
But I think, like, for our situation, like I said, the psychological safety, the fostering of that creative, productive environment that everybody feels welcomed in, I think we did a pretty good job on that. Mm-hmm. And I think the article made a pretty good point of demonstrating how even teams with infighting can come back to this sense of, yeah, we just clashed on something, but I trust you enough to have my back, and vice versa, that we can get our job done. Mm-hmm. Cheyenne?
Okay, so between Isadora and Marina, like, that's a lot of what I've got. But yeah, Paul too. Basically everybody. I feel like this question's kind of being, like, beaten to, like, a dead horse or whatever. But something else that, like, I pulled from it is, so harmony, kind of like what Amber was saying, was like, we picture it as this beautiful thing that everybody wants, but harmony can hurt a team if it's done with ill intent. And with that, like, what I mean is seeking harmony for the sake of protecting other people's feelings and not wanting to challenge, where teams, we can get too comfortable with wanting to create that harmony, that we're not willing to challenge each other for fear of disrupting the vibes. But, like, in the challenge, in the conflict, like, that's where ideas begin to spread, and that's where I think like good ideas begin to happen because we're trying to like find that happy medium and come up with things that like wasn't there before. So that may not always happen if everything was perfectly harmonious.
I just want to point out that Cheyenne's cheating. She's answering one of the later prompts right now.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
The benefits of
Oh,
conflict.
man.
You're not cheating,
wait,
Cheyenne.
I'm an overachiever, okay?
I was looking at Paul's face. I was like, wait, I guess we getting the same thing. I don't know.
Wait, are you, because we were both laughing? I think we're laughing at
Yeah.
everyone's cat.
Where
Oh,
we-
confused.
what one is
Just
that?
maybe.
I was making a noise. I'm like,
That's
what
what
is that?
Yeah, it wasn't you,
She's been
Cheyenne.
she's been all up in my jazz. It's annoying.
She missed you.
I know. Okay, I think it's my turn unless someone else hasn't gone yet.
I think it's your turn.
Going back on what Amber, Isadora, Marina, Cheyenne, and Paul said, yeah, it's obviously, like, I think one of the key factors, like, the thing I got out of it the most was like the psychological safety thing, because like, even like when I first started like this, I was like, oh God, like, I have to like do face to face, like, oh no, that sounds like nerve-wracking. I don't want to do this, like, and it was scary, but I mean, hey, I'm comfortable now. Like, I don't even think twice about like going to the meeting about being nervous or anything. Like, I think we all get along fine, except for the Android iPhone fight, but it's whatever. We know we're right, so it's
You really
okay.
shouldn't let this steer. You should just change the alcohol. We don't want it to let it go unresolved.
But yeah,
I'm just gonna stop recording, and we're all gonna.
We're done. We're done here. Okay.
I feel like the second you use iMessage, like, boom, you're converted. It'd be done.
You will be, yes.
You need to use your friend, like an iPhone friend's phone.
But I'm glad we can all like interact and like no one's like being mean to each other for the most part or anything like that.
Oh, there's still time. Mm-hmm.
There's still time. Oh yeah, we got a couple more meetings. Like, there's time. Yeah, that's all I got though. Y'all stole everything else.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Article. Okay. So that was, anybody else have anything to add about that one? Okay, so moving on to C, conflict as a place of possibility. Paul, would you like to start?
Sure. So, which is kind of what brought me to, interest in the Challenger role the first time around, and what I hope you guys get out of it, or, eventually as we cycle through, is like Cheyenne said when she was cheating, that conflict really helps to
Challenging you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Conflict really helps to kind of birth new ideas. It widens your mindset because everything you saw is now suddenly being opposed by somebody else, but you're not fighting about it. You're arguing about it. You're debating it. And you start to realize, hey, you have points, and you've pointed out flaws in something I thought was, unsinkable. So now we can both grow from it. And no matter who was correct, you're both better off for it because you've both learned and you're both closer to being, I guess, more solidified in what you believe or what the facts you've been able to find are. So without conflict and everybody's just kind of saying yes to everything you say, nobody grows, nobody sees flaws, nobody misses, hey, there's an iceberg in front of our ship. Are we just going to go for it? Cool. But yeah, I love healthy conflict. I think it's great. Amber.
Okie dokie. So conflict is a place of possibility. I had personal feelings about this video because it wasn't necessarily just related to work, but also to personal relationships. I was married to an Army soldier for 5 years. So I know all about conflict within a personal relationship. And I would say that for me, my responses I'm in control of. I'm 100% in control of my responses, and I had to learn that from that relationship and have had to mature in general and have been able to take that and apply it to not only personal relationships but also at work, that I am in charge of any decisions or any choices that I make and anything that I choose to say, because you can't take words back. So I did, it definitely did resonate with me, but I was like, oh, it's bringing some of that back. But for me, that as far as like notes for it, I would say that something that stood out was listening for the information behind the attack is something that as people, we are automatically defensive, and that it is, I would say, a practiced act is to know, okay, I should pause. But that one really stuck out to me. Who wants to go next? Aaron.
I'll go before y'all take the rest of the information. No, I'm playing. Yeah, I was gonna go back to that. The underlying message thing I found like really interesting because like, you know, a lot of the time when someone's attacking you, you get really defensive, and like sometimes you don't really think about what their like, you know, like what their message is because they're mad at you too. And so like, you know, it's just back and forth of just going like, you know, arguing pretty much and like not saying what you truly like mean because you're just so angry. I've been in those situations too where like I'm just like super mad and I don't want to tell you how I truly feel. I just want to like scream at your face. But yeah, I was like, you know, you do get to choose what you say, and like, you know, I actually really liked this video. It was like super interesting because, you know, I've never really thought of conflict as a, you know, a possibility to help instead of, because, you know, I always tried to avoid it instead of, you know, use it to my advantage. But yeah, I really liked the message of this video. It was really good. Isadora, you want to go?
Yeah, with a little bit left, but yeah, I feel like every time I come in, you guys already said most of it.
Yeah.
But what I got from that is like a bunch of questions actually, because as soon as she started telling like this stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much questions, and I wrote it like all the questions. So I was like, you know what, I put it here that I need to listen. I need to listen past the act, because sometimes we work at Starbucks, we have people that act all the time when I tell them to do something. Then I have to like count like into 1,000,000 sometimes. So then I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's a good thing they're like but heading with me when I tell them to do something. So then actually today there's this girl that drives me crazy. I actually did. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna act. I'm not gonna take this. So I feel like this video make me like question how I see things and how I present things to other people. Yes, like Amber was saying, like being married to like army people. It's like my whole family.
Yes, you know.
My dad was in the Navy for 25 years. So they have one mentality, and that's how we don't have opinion. Yeah, like they have their opinion for you, you have to take it. And then my husband sometimes the same thing because he was in the Navy. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm from Brazil. I have fire on me. I was like, we have to act. We have to talk about it. But this video, yeah, made me question a bunch of stuff. So I think Cheyenne is next. I don't know. Somebody else? Marina?
Apparently, I answered most of this question in the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I watched this one, and maybe my Starbucks people like remember this. Do you guys remember there was a training, and it was like a year and a half or like 2 years ago, and it was basically we have to lean into understanding. So like when we're facing conflict with a customer, we have to lean into understanding to like figure out what their point of view is, even if it's something different than us. And so that's what I was reminded of in this, is like we all have different views, and we can choose to like stay wherever we are, but then if we want to grow, we can choose to like seek their side of the story, to lean in, to try to understand as best as we can. We may not like agree with either side, but we'll leave the situation like more educated than before. Has anybody not gone?
Yeah, I think I'm last, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I know Amber and Aaron both kind of touched on this. I really liked how the video touched on, it was like, don't hear the attack, like hear what they're like trying to say, and also like develop curiosity. I feel like that was kind of an underlying theme in the video, like develop curiosity for like what they're trying to say and where they're coming from. And Cheyenne, I literally was gonna make like almost the same reference. Like I remember when I first started at Starbucks, I would get so upset about like these customer interactions where it's like the customer's rude, they're mean to one of my baristas, like whatever. And I would just get so aggravated, and I'd bring it home with me, and I'd just be ranting about it to people, and they're just like, that was like, you need to chill. And I feel like I have this different mentality now where it's like, Raina, maybe they're having the worst day of their life. Maybe they just got fired. Like maybe they're coming home from getting divorced or whatever. Like who knows? So I just feel like I try to always like assume the best in customers. And then secondly, I had this like really powerful conversation with another shift a few days ago at work, because we were like having this, like we've been having the same issues over and over with the shifts at my store. And it got to the point where we were like, it was just the two of us, and he was like, I don't know why you're like attacking me. And I was kind of saying the same thing. I was like, well, I don't know why you're attacking me and arguing with everything. And we just had this really good conversation. And we ultimately got to the place where we were like, we want the same thing for the store. We're just going about it in different ways. We need to like use our different viewpoints, and we need to learn from each other. We need to stop trying to like fight and like win, because ultimately we just want what's best for the store. So I thought that was kind of cool because it connected to, today's video. Okay, moving on to the next video, Dare to Disagree. Cheyenne, would you like to start?
Yes. So from this video, I put in my notes basically that my notes are so confusing. Oh my gosh. Wow, I don't know what I was writing.
You're gonna get an F.
But okay. So when we allow like the different views to fuel our discussion, it all just kind of like relates back. But when we allow the views to fuel our discussion, it leads to a sense of curiosity. And when we go through with the curiosity, then we begin wanting to learn more. And sometimes like what I saw from it is like I'm a stubborn person, and so if somebody has different views than me, I'm going to go through and try to like prove them wrong. And so there was something in the video where it was talking about that it was like the courts or something were going through, and they wanted to like prove the cancer thing wrong, and so doing everything in their power. But they were doing that because they were curious, and it just led to a whole lot of debate and publicity, and ultimately like they came to their conclusion. And so I just thought that was interesting. Might be helpful if I pick someone. I'm sorry. Paul.
So going off what Cheyenne said, I liked, for the similar reason, I liked this article because, like you said, they came into this situation saying, my role is to disprove your beliefs. It's to find any kind of flaw in your argument, because after I've tried my best and if I've failed, then I can give you, I think the phrase she used was, I can give you that confidence or that vote of confidence that you are in fact right, because I've done the work and I've tried to find where you went wrong, but I haven't. Or if I have, then like I said before, you can take those flaws and improve whatever your case study is or your thesis statement, because now you know, hey, they found something I didn't. So just trying to go about disproving and proving in a healthy relationship rather than like a fight. It's not always win or lose. It's we can both better ourselves from this, is what this video kind of enforced for me. Can I pick on the cat?
The cat's so cute.
Yeah. Can I make her speak? Or he? Oh, it's got a toy.
Oh, you can't hear me. I have a fidget spinner with me, and so she's obsessed with it.
Aww.
Aaron, you're up.
So one of the examples they used was like the guy who like wouldn't speak up or whatever, and like had all the concerns about like the project they were working on. I can't remember what it was, but he always had these concerns, but like didn't speak up. And then one day he decided to like ask everyone like, hey, do you guys feel like this isn't like working? And I kind of like related to that, because it's like it's really easy to just like not speak up, because then you don't have to deal with anything. But and it's like not dealing with conflict. Like it's just super easy to stay away from conflict as to like speak up and deal with it. And there was like a reading earlier that I read where it was like, it's easier to stay away from conflict and not have to deal with it. I can't remember which reading it was, but this video kind of like linked back to that. But yeah, and then I also the same idea, whereas like we're inclined to be with like-minded people and like people who are like us, but when you have people from different backgrounds and like just mixing up everything is like a lot different, and like it helps because you get more, because you don't fall into that group think as much. So that's kind of what I got away. That's what I got from the video. Amber, you want to go?
I can. So for the Dare to Disagree video, I really like the question of how do organizations think? And the speaker, she stated that they don't. And I would like to disagree with that. Not that I'm trying to take over as challenger. She said that they, as organizations, don't think, but I think that really a culture of an organization is the brain of it. What is the culture of this organization? Because that sets the standard, that sets the tone of how this is how we engage in business. This is how we handle moving forward. This is how we handle change. So I would say that organizations, they do think, but changing the culture within an organization is what's required in order to expand the way in which an organization does look at and address things, though. But I did enjoy that one as well. Marina, did you already go?
No, I have not. So first I thought it was like the whole thing with Alice and George. I thought it was a really cool story. I never knew any of that. But yeah, I think one of the questions was how can your team ensure that they're benefiting from like differing views? And I think one way that OGL343 does that is through the role of a challenger, which I know we haven't really technically needed it for the first 2 modules, but I think this is like the first module we start using it. But I think that's one way that we avoid that groupthink, which I think is kind of cool. It'll ensure that the group is offering different viewpoints. Isadora, have you gone?
Not
okay,
yet.
you're the last. Okay.
Well, I guess I fail as a challenger because, you guys are like telling me things. But it's okay. I'll come back. But I got like from the videos, like be prepared to change be prepared when people change their mind. And sometimes for me, I don't want to change my mind. I'm stubborn and I want it this way because I feel like this way is better. But after like getting through the whole video, I could see like he worked his whole life trying to prove her wrong. Where did he got them? Like, wait, I can do that. Like I can work my whole life trying to prove a point and then learn from it because we don't know everything. Everybody, it's here to help each other. That's why we have this team. Like maybe my opinion is different and it doesn't mean it's the best one, So I think the video made me like think about work too. Like, hey, I always butt head with my boss because like, no, that's not how I do it because I just moved here and I had a team in Texas and how everything was supposed to be. Like everybody was on the same page and here it's chaotic. It's really chaotic. And I'm trying to like learn like, okay, change my mind because maybe here is calm. Like people in a drive-through here, they talk their lifetime. And I'm like, guys, my window time, like you gotta go. So it's very different. So I'm trying to like, that's for me, that's something that's like, you know what, I changed my mind. And the video made me think about it. It's like, okay, maybe it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So we'll see.
I had a literal 20-minute conversation with someone in the drive-thru because there was no cars behind her, and she's like one of my favorite regulars, and we literally just sat there and talked for 20 minutes. It was
hate
crazy.
when people do that. I was like, you have
so for 20 minutes you weren't working.
Yeah, Aaron, maybe that's
I was connecting with my customers. That's a very important part of my job.
The customers are the
important
part.
They are, yes.
I
You gotta create the
disagree.
third. You gotta create the third
Yes,
place. Hey, it's corporate. I'm gonna listen to corporate. They want me to connect. I'm gonna connect.
You can connect in 5 minutes. There's another car behind you. There's other things to do. There's so
She
much.
didn't have another car. It was literally 20 whole minutes of no cars. I was like, well, I'm gonna just keep talking to you.
I'm challenging you because you said you barely made it to work. You barely made it home.
This was yesterday, not today. Oh my gosh.
All right. My dream is to be at a slow store, but it'll probably never happen. I'd love to not have a customer for 20 minutes. Okay.
Nice.
Moving on to E, the George Washington University website. Okay. Amber, would you like to start?
Yes, let me grab my notes.
That hesitation made it sound like you really didn't want to do this one.
I didn't like that one.
I was unmuting myself. Excuse me. Now for this one, it just says as far as the question and what different ways is conflict categorized. I thought that was very broad. And
Mm-hmm.
from that, and then also and I'm kind of jumping ahead, so squeeze me. The website itself, and then also the article, conflict and important dimension in successful management teams. It broke down on the website rational or cognitive ways of conflict, and then emotional ways of conflict, which when I was reading through or skimming through the article, it looked like this is the same as type A conflict for emotional, and then type C for conflict that was productive. So I thought that it was nice that it broke it down. And ultimately, I would say when we get upset, we stop making sense and people stop listening, which is why I always keep a calm tone most of the time, because I shriek, guys, when I'm upset. And I would say that really it's just being mindful of how you are engaging with other people is basically what I got from the website, though. Cheyenne?
So I agreed with the whole categories, like rational or cognitive, and then emotional and affective. And then I just really liked how it really separated them. So for rational, it was like the idea of, okay, we have a problem, so how are we going to go through and find the best possible solution to fix it? With the idea being like that we remain a cohesive team. And then with the emotional conflict, it's based off of the mindset of where you have a problem, and so it's like a very like selfish point of view. And the goal with that is that we're going to win at any cost, no matter like what the damage is done. And then this results in low performing teams and just like dysfunction within a team. So I just found that breakdown interesting. Aaron?
I thought, one of the, going off that, I didn't really know there was like an emotional conflict, and then the other kind was a cognitive conflict. I thought the differentiation between that was really cool. And then I thought one of the sayings that was like showing the difference that I really liked was, looking at it from you have a problem to we have a problem, because usually, it's like, if you have a conflict with someone, it's like, I have a problem with you. But if you look at it more as like, we both have a problem, like we need to like figure this out. It's a lot healthier, and instead of just, attacking and, not really listening. And that's like hard to do if someone's like really mad at you. So, I mean, it's definitely something you have to learn. Marina, do you want to go? Also, I have to use the bathroom really bad, so I'm going to go.
Again?
This is the first time today.
Aaron, go to the bathroom. It's fine.
I'm going to go.
Have fun. Be safe.
What does he have to be safe from?
The bathroom.
It's not Elvis. He's not going to die in there.
Should we keep going or wait for him so he get everybody's answer? Because I haven't answered.
Yeah, I haven't either. But most of what I was going to say has been said.
Well, I
didn't got that from the video, because actually what I got was more like sometimes, like, the part 5 where it says behaving during conflict, that's what it popped up for me. Because sometimes at work, and mine is all related to work, sometimes at work I am more like, you know what, don't worry about it, I'll finish, because I want to collaborate it, but at the same time I'm trying to avoid a conflict. So I literally just like, you know what, I asked you to do it, you didn't do it, let me do it for you, because I can do this in 2 seconds.
Nora, that is the exact thing that Cheyenne did in her last group.
Yeah, you gotta be
on
careful.
all the responsibility.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
But at work, I have all these newbies that drive me crazy, and I'm telling them, I write on the paper for them, because that's the only method they are like lately getting the point. So I write on the papers like, you need to clean this, you need to do this, and I give them a timer. I put a timer on them for 30 minutes with like 3 tasks to do, and then I come back in 30 minutes. There's only 1 task done. And I was like, what have you been done? I know we're busy, but I gave you the easiest task ever and you still haven't done. So my approach is like with the new system that Starbucks is asking me, I ask like, how can you do this? What are your choices of doing this? And like bringing that. So like when I read this article, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it all for them. It's like, I want to do the, what's it called? The compromising. I want a win-win scenario. I want to do that all at once.
I want to hear all of that in your native tongue.
Não, que eu não vou falar nada pra você.
Yes.
That was in Portuguese.
I believe it, girl. I don't even know, but you know what? I can feel it. Like, I don't even know what I did, and I would like my list redone, okay?
Okay. I can go ahead and go next. So first off, like one thing I actually like about the George Washington University like website is I kind of like to look at this one first because it's kind of simplified. It doesn't really go into too much detail, but I like it because you can look at it, the overview and all of it, and it kind of breaks down what the entire module is going to go over, like simplified. And because I felt like some of the like the TED Talks and some of the other articles were kind of specific to one point, but this website is just kind of in general overview. So I kind of like that. One thing that I liked was in the third section, the benefits of conflict. One thing it said was it can help lead to individual and team performance improvement if it's managed effectively. I thought that was a good point because conflict can be a place of possibility and it can be really useful, but also it needs to be managed correctly in order for that to happen. People can't just be screaming at each other and be like, yay, everyone's improving. So I just thought that was a good point. And I think, Paul, you're the last to go, right?
Yeah. So like I said, a lot of us have kind of covered what I was going to say, but definitely what I focused on, like Aaron said, was the breakdown between cognitive versus affective. And mentioned in our last prompt, it's really just, to me, it's the difference between an argument, debate, and a fight. One of them is actually beneficial, and one of them you're trying to hurt somebody. There's really no winner in the effective stance. You're just trying to prove to yourself that even if you're wrong, you can come out on top, and the whole team loses. Even if you win, you're gonna lose. But when you go with the argument, when you go with the rational approach, you collaborate, you compromise, you find a way for both of you to come out on top. And you still get that sense of satisfaction because the conflict you had is resolved, genuinely resolved, rather as opposed to just being beaten into somebody else. And like you said, I really like this Washington website. I almost feel like it's the only thing we need. Like we don't need the text or the TED Talks. But
I like how it's all in like boxes and everything's like simple and like it's like super like easy to read.
Right. And if you wanted to elaborate on them, you could just hyperlink from them, or you could just do your own research. But like everything within those individual modules for the website is it covers everything perfectly the way it is.
I agree. It gives like a really nice overview. Okay. Anybody else have anything to add for that one? Nope. All right, cool. Last one is the conflict, an important dimension in successful management teams. So Isadora, would you like to go first?
That one, I did not like it. And I don't know, like I was reading and I was like, this is boring. I was like, I'm trying to read it through the whole thing, but pretty much what I got from it is like that everything, what did I put in my notes? That conflicts are encouraging things. And that like the more we lead to the conflict, the more we get out of it. And then the thing that I got most of after reading all of those things is that like there's always a solution for any conflict. We just have to manage the way we see the conflict so we can get the solution from it. Like my solution was writing on a paper because I feel like that's the solution for my conflict with the team. So I think that's pretty much how I read the article. Oh, sorry, I gotta pick somebody. I almost forget that. Cheyenne.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, and I didn't realize that that was on our list of stuff to read. And so I'm looking at it right now.
It's okay. It was really boring.
I didn't see it the first time. It's like a small link, and you just I passed it up the first time, and then I looked back and saw it.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely
it's understandable.
It's definitely something worth just skimming rather than.
It's a boring read, honestly.
That's why I say like that was the least favorite one because there's so much, and I feel like they were going in loops like when I was reading.
Yeah.
Cheyenne, do you want one of us to go instead?
Yeah.
Like,
Can I go last, and then I'll come up with something to say?
I'll go.
cool. Amber's
Right.
up. Cool. Amber's up.
I'll go. So, and I make sure I'm reading the question right. Are we talking about what we took from the article? Is that what I'm understanding?
Right.
I liked that it talked about promoting, what is it? I've lost it now. Oh, promoting activities that are going to engage in productive forms of conflict. So rather than just listening to what each side has to say, having teams participate in exercises where, you know, the actual meat and potatoes of issues are presented and can be addressed. And then it also states that it promotes thinking and innovation when there are issues. So, you know, if one area is not talking to the other one, or one is causing something to happen, this is where, okay, we should not have to manually do this process because this is costing us too much money, or there's no reason why we need to have people to do this. This should happen electronically. So that then in itself, rather than these two departments being irate and not liking each other, can now work together to create a seamless process that will happen automatically. Therefore, you know, can result in saving of time and resources, as well as, you know, increasing the speed of things occurring. So I really do like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, Paul, you can go now.
Sure. So I highlighted, kind of bouncing off what Amber just said, is there's a portion of the document that says how the leader needs to, it kind of goes back to me, the psychological safety. The leader needs to kind of bring in the team members and let them know that their voice matters. They're not just being listened to, you know, kind of like shrugged off. They're actually being heard, and their feedback matters. And I think, let's see, the quote that I brought in was, on page 33, it says, the leader needs to be supportive of the group members to bring them into the decision process and to ensure that they believe that their views are being heard and acted upon. And I could not agree more. The more involved your team members feel, whether you're technically above them as management or if you're all just working as peers, the more involved everyone feels, the easier things move around. Nobody feels like they're at a disadvantage or that they matter less.
Or that they're being excluded too.
Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Yes, nobody feels excluded. The whole morale just kind of raises. I thought that was really good to see. Aaron, you're up.
Yeah, so what I got out of this one, and like kind of going back on like what you just said, Paul, like, you know, it's really important that you get heard, like whether you're a leader or not. Because I mean, ultimately we're all leaders. Like, you know, one person might follow something that like, you know, someone in a non-authoritative position might do, because like, you know, and I deal with it at work because, you know, as a shift lead, you know, people look up to me, but then some of my baristas also look to other baristas for help, more than they would me, because sometimes I might be in the back doing like money or something. But yeah, like, you know, it's like, you know, if a barista's like, hey, you know, maybe we should be doing this at night because, you know, it's not like, you know, morning, like might not have time to do it, and we just like shrug it off, you know, they're not gonna feel as inclined to make another suggestion, you know, if they're like, oh, well, they don't care, so I'm just not gonna talk about that. Like, no point. And, you know, I would rather someone, if they feel like something's not being done correctly, or like, you know, I'd want them to be like, hey, maybe we should do this instead. Like, that's super important to me. And then, yeah, like some of the things that the article said to help manage conflict was like having an agenda, and like, oh, and this is as far as like the successful like team management part went as far as that article goes, but it was like having an agenda, stating the purpose of your team, providing the right environment, which kind of goes back to what I was just talking about, keeping a sense of where discussion goes, and then like, you know, being like proactive and not reactive, especially with like customers at Starbucks. Like, that's super important because, you know, it's probably really easy to go off on someone that's making you mad. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I've made mistakes too where I'm like, hey, like I just get angry and like have to walk away because I would say something like, like gotta be careful. But yeah, so yeah, the article it was a good article, it was just really boring. So Cheyenne, are you ready to go now? Or did someone not go before you?
I can go if you want, Cheyenne, or you can go before me. I don't care.
Oh, okay, yeah, Marina still has to go. Okay, well, Cheyenne, you can go.
Okay, well, so in this it talks about like creativity within the C-type conflict and everything, and the C's like that's the positive one, the rational one, and it talks about like creativity being a way to contribute like different ideas and everything, and I don't know, relating it back to like Starbucks and everything. So my store is extremely small, and we don't have a lot of space, but like when Nitro came in, like Nitro takes up so much space, and we literally lost half of our cold bar and over half of our storage and everything. And so our team, like I feel like most Starbucks, they try to be like the C-type team. And so what we would do is we went through at least half a dozen like setups for cold bar, each person like doing the whole like creative thing. A lot of them were dumb. A lot of them ended up with entire like tea pitchers falling on us because they decided it'd be a great idea to stick it above the blenders. But like eventually with all the creative ideas, all the even dumb ideas, like we got to a system that works for us and everything. So having that be allowed, like I think that's really important within teams. Go ahead, Marina.
The article was super long, and I felt like it was kind of going in circles, but I felt like there were some gems in there. One thing I liked that it talked about was like how can a leader steer their team towards constructive conflict, and they can do that by first like accepting the conflict, which a few of you touched on. So accepting the conflict and then channeling it when it does arise, and just making sure that it's like constructive and it's not like the A type conflict, but it's the C type conflict like Cheyenne talked about, and that they're facilitating creativity and just using open communication and like remaining focused on the ultimate goal or task. All right, anyone else want to add anything for that one?
I had something earlier, guys, and I forgot. So as a challenger, I was gonna ask, do you guys see a conflict at home now different than you like before you read all of that, or not?
No, I pay bills here. I'm right.
Okay.
It is not negotiable.
I haven't had too much conflict at my house. I'm never here, so like I'm at work or like hanging out with other people. So I'm just like I'm only here to do homework. Like that's it.
I live alone, so there can't be that much conflict, except for like, Marina, do you want pizza? No, don't do it.
Hey, I've had garbage roommates, so honestly, it's probably better. Like oh my gosh, it's a struggle.
All right, but that was a really good question, Isadora. I actually really like that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I'm going to be going through conflicts I have every day now. All right, so now we're on to number 9. Other thoughts, comments, discussion points. Paul, would you like to start?
Yeah, actually, I had something. So I know Amber asked it either last meeting or maybe the meeting before, but is everyone here an OGL major, or is this just part of your major?
OGL.
I'm an OGL.
Yeah, I'm OGL too.
Okay.
Organizational studies.
This is a minor for me for organizational leadership.
Right on. Have you guys taken your 340 yet?
No.
No? Okay, so for those of you who have to, or you can, OGL340, it's called the Aikido Way. It's a new one. Did you take it?
Yeah, I did it. I loved it.
Yeah, so it's all about that lean-in process where, if somebody comes at you aggressively, you have to, I think the words are, you have to hook them in, like kind of bring them towards you and reflect their energy.
You're upset. Tell me more.
All about conflict resolution, and I thought it was great. I really liked the professor who ran it, and I think it was pretty well balanced. So I just wanted to bring that up.
I tried to do the exercise, like the holding thing. Of course, I failed, but yeah, I did.
Yeah. But I thought it was really, really interesting, kind of fun, and just touched on a lot of the stuff that we all highlighted today. So I wanted to.
She's very loud.
I
She
know.
likes to talk. I have conversations with her.
Oh, it makes me so happy. But thank you, Paul. That's actually
I've got to mute myself. She won't.
because I was thinking about the next classes I was going to take. That sounds super interesting. You said it's OGL340?
Yes, I believe you have to take 2 340s. So
I was gonna say because I'm in a 340 right now, but that's not what it is. Mine's a dialogue in the workplace.
Yeah, there's options, but this one came up right after I took a 340. It was the same professor, and he put out an announcement saying, "Hey, I have a brand new class for the summer session, and it counts towards your major." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." But it actually ended up being really good. So OGL 340, and it's Aikido, AIKIDO.
I think it's a keto way, right? Because that's what I liked it. Yeah.
I might do that one. That sounds fun.
Another challenge because I wrote it everything, guys. What's our time? Are we almost done, guys?
Yeah, we're almost.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're up time. The longest thing we have left is to schedule the next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, did I, as the submitter, have nothing to submit tonight?
No.
Correct.
Oh,
You will
just
the
a good
next
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do next time.
So I'll stay the submitter for the next one then.
All right. I don't have any other comments or discussion points. Does anybody else?
I had a question about the course schedule because I know we talked about it towards the end of the meeting last time. So Amber, I've got it pulled up, and I see where you got September 9th now. But the way I'm reading it, it says it's supposed to happen between the 9th and the 15th.
Before the 15th.
Yeah, so I think we did it before the 9th. I don't know if that's going to be an issue at all.
I'm not sure.
Which would kind of be why we don't have feedback because it's like way too early.
Let me take a look here. Maybe
I would imagine it won't be a big issue with Dr. Chanley, but obviously she'll tell us if it ends up being one. But
for Doodle. Okay, let me go back and look at it.
oh no, not for Doodle.
For the class schedule.
Yeah, the course schedule says Module 3 team content meeting. It says to do it between the 9th and the 15th.
Team discussion assignment.
Well, it says to do it between the 9th and before 3.2. So technically, we shouldn't have done it yet.
So I do have another question. Are we making the video feedback this week?
I'm confused now. You're talking about the content discussion, Paul?
Yeah, it says Module 3 team content 3.1, and then over on the due date, the pink font, it says meeting to be scheduled by the team between 9/9 and before 3.2 discussion.
Oh, okay.
So not by 9/9, but starting.
Between. Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, so hopefully that won't be an issue grading wise because we did do the assignment. But.
I wonder if, I was going to say we can just submit this on the 9th, but I feel like if we submit it and email her, I feel like she'll understand.
Well, remember when we were scheduling was it for this meeting? Oh, no, it was for the last one. I was like, we have until 9/8 to do that one, but we didn't want to wait until the last minute to do that. But then we ended up doing this one, I guess, just early for whatever reason.
Yeah, because last meeting it was said that this had to happen before the 9th.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
the
That's right.
By the 9th. Okay. That is my bad, guys.
It's cool.
So I guess we get a good weekend.
Over
I'm okay with that.
Over to Isadora because I don't want to miss your question. You asked about are we pushing the feedback?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we agreed that we'll discuss last meeting's feedback and then I guess this meeting's feedback the next time we have because we couldn't do feedback yet.
Okay.
That was it for me though.
Cool. I did have a question for Dr. Chanley. And first off, if we want, I can email her tomorrow and say hey, we recorded and submitted this video before the 9th. Is that cool? Do you guys want me to email her that tomorrow or should we just let it go?
I don't know that it would matter. It doesn't say that there's any penalty for going earlier.
It doesn't. That is true. So
okay, cool. And then my other question for Dr. Chanley, when you do watch this, when we do the next assignment where we performance review the other team, is it individual or is it as a group? Because I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be taking notes on the individuals or if, like, as a group, how did they perform?
Oh, I read as the whole group.
I think it's
that's
as a
what
group.
because that's what I did today. Because I thought maybe you were gonna have time to do it, so I kind of went through the video and I judged and feedback as a group.
Okay, that's what I did too. But I wasn't. And then I started getting like overthinking, and I was like, well, should I be writing stuff like Bob and Susan do a better job of integrating or like including Mary into the conversation? But I was like, no, Marina, stop overthinking. So I think
we should approach it the way Dr. Chanley does our feedback. So like group and then individual if necessary.
Okay. That makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions? All right, 11. How did this meeting go? I can start. I think it went really well. I thought we were super effective, and yeah, no issues here. Cheyenne?
I agree that it went really well, and I think that especially compared to last meeting, we were a lot better with our time. Right now we're like just at an hour, and it's much better than the last 3-hour meeting that we had. Amber?
I agree. I was so tired the last time. So I know that we were working on an assignment, so that needs to be taken into consideration. There were a lot of hands moving, and when there are a lot of chefs in the kitchen, it just takes longer. So, but I think it went well, and I think today went well as well. Aaron?
Yeah, I really liked the meeting. The time was a lot better. The last meeting was very long. I was very tired by the end of it. But yeah, this meeting went really well. We had some good discussions about the content. For the next meeting, is that the meeting where we're going to talk about the Team Sixes?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll have to do it by then. Marina, you can go.
Cool. I already went, but I will ask the last people to go because I actually just, now that I'm looking at the agenda, it says try to use the questions for assessing how the meeting went. So I'll ask a question from there because I think 2 more people have to go. I will ask, okay, do you think there's any biases right now that are preventing some team members from providing an accurate assessment? And who else has to go?
Me or Paul.
Okay. I don't want to pick. Someone go.
Do you want to go or would you like me to?
No matter to me. I don't think there's a bias. I don't know. I'm sad. I think we work really good as a team, and I feel like we can read each other's. Like when we are asking questions, we can read each other's when like passing the message to us. I have everybody in gallery too, and like I'm like keeping looking at you guys like, am I saying something you're not getting it? You know, like, but I think we're good. I don't know if I say it all.
Were you gonna ask another question? Do you want me to go off that one too?
No, sorry. You can just say whatever or go off of that.
Was that your twin who just walked behind you?
It was.
Bring him back.
You want to see him?
Are you identical?
Do you guys keep the same facial hair? I need to know.
It looks like Aaron is walking by, but I don't know.
I'm so excited.
What?
Oh my God. There's 2 of them. Oh, but he does not have a lot of
Oh my God, they're the same. But different facial hair.
Yes.
Same glasses.
Is it the same prescription?
No, his don't work for me. What doesn't work?
Oh, wow.
Our same prescription.
No, I have terrible eyesight.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mine's a little.
Sounds so much alike. Oh my goodness.
I'm obsessed with twins. That made my night.
Ew, me too. And there's the cat again. Poor kitty.
Wow.
So, Aaron, we won't know the difference if your twin sits in for you for the rest of the
You'll know. I'm sure you. I'm sure you catch on because he's not gonna be doing the homework.
Okay.
All right. I think it's just you, Paul, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing Isadora said. I haven't picked up on anything. I would be interested to see if there was one though. But yeah, I think we work really well together. I think the collaboration, the mesh is pretty solid. You know.
I agree. Awesome. All right. 12. Any changes for the next meeting aside from the agenda change?
I don't think so, no.
Cool. I agree. And review the instructions for the next meeting and set up the roles, date, and time. So for roles are going to stay the same, right? And then in regards to instructions for the next meeting, all we need to do for that one is watch 30 minutes of Team 6's video and then make notes and also kind of make start thinking about the criteria we want to use to rate their team performance. So it's not just vague, so we have an actual criteria. And just to set it straight, do we want to watch the first 30 minutes of the video to make it easy?
Because they only had 39, right? Because when I was watching today, it was only 39 minutes. So I feel like we can skip the last couple minutes because it's probably like them scheduling anyway.
Yeah, and it just says we just have to watch 30 minutes of it. So the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, and pretty much last is just setting up the next meeting.
Yep.
I want to put something to you guys. Sorry, I was like watching Team 6 and I kind of watch ours to see what people are going to think of us. I'm like, I see ours.
In the freeze frame, like the frame that you see when you look at our video, Paul's doing like a big thumbs down.
Oh no.
It's funny.
Which video is it?
I was in the last
one, right?
Oh, okay.
Wait,
I could 3-hour one.
I kind of hope it's not the last one.
No, it says like Team 1 it says Team 1's watch Team 6, and then ours went all the way to the bottom because I think Team 10 watches us. So our video is the last one.
Oh Lord. Okay.
She took the hair tie.
She loves hair bands. It's like the only thing she plays with.
My girlfriend's cat loves hair too. Can't she has to keep buying them. Yeah.
I hope she's not eating them.
No, she just chews on them.
Oh my goodness, so majestic.
Right.
All right.
The next meeting, sorry.
Yeah, the next
meeting. Feedbacks for next time, right? We just have to get all the feedbacks.
Yeah, we'll do both video feedbacks.
We'll have a fair little break in between this next one, right?
Yeah.
Cheyenne, I think you should bring the timer from Starbucks, put on yourself for like 30 minutes, one video.
Support.
Yeah, so we get the time. I was like, that will be my challenge. A challenge is to put a beeping thing so we all know, it's coming in.
Let me tell you how dumb my store is. We don't have timers that work.
Really?
Okay. My store, I just transferred to this store and I hate it so much, but it's like quasi violations. Nobody follows standards. Like, they put their hands inside of cups. It's
no.
It's so bad. We don't have timers. We don't change sanitizers. We don't change swallows.
Who's in charge, Cheyenne?
Yeah, hold on. You're saying we. That means you're not doing any of this.
Yeah, because I moved to this store too. Okay,
Take responsibility.
Yeah, this store here in Alaska that I moved to is disgusting, and I've already been part of Clean Play for a whole month, and I write a list. If you don't do it, you get out. I was like, if I see a dirt stuff, you're gonna scrub on your knees because I'm really mean. I'm like, I need this to be clean, guys, because I hate this store. I was like, if you wanna work here,
because I hate this store and I hate all of you.
Say that every meeting.
That sounds really distressing.
And there was more.
And I feel attacked.
Okay, I do. The way I see it is like I will not go to my store to buy a drink. If I see that way, I can't work because I want to go to a place that I feel comfortable selling things. I want to go to a place that I feel comfortable giving you guys things. Like if it's dirty, I will not want to get in. So right now I change everything in there, and we are changing like the way the people think. And I literally says like, if you're not happy, the door is open. I can hire so many new people. Like, there's nothing I can do. You should do that. I mean, don't do that.
No, she just hires. Don't have.
Challenge her, because that's what I do.
I'd lose my job. I've already butted heads with her so much. I've been at the store for 3 months, and she already wants me out.
Well, maybe you need to invite her and redirect her.
She should be the person we interview.
Yeah. That's
Love it.
Please can understand.
And ask her, what is your problem?
Question 1.
Listen here, like.
Let me bring you to Standards at Starbucks. I have the book. I'll bring you my ops field guide. And I was like, let's go.
Hell yeah.
All right, sorry. Okay, I'm challenging. Time. Come on, guys. Let's go.
All right. So next meeting,
Yeah.
when are we thinking?
Okay, so here's my thinking, and I'm good with whatever, but I almost want to do this meeting like sooner rather than later, and then we kind of have like a whole week where we don't really have to worry about too much instead of like spreading multiple days in between now and then our feedback meeting. But I'm open to anything.
So if we're trying to go sooner rather than later, the next day I'm off is Tuesday the 10th. I don't know if that works around with anyone.
In the Tuesday.
I'm off Tuesday and Friday of like next week, so
I open Wednesday, so I can't do Tuesday night, but I can do Tuesday.
Yeah,
I'm open. I can do anything Tuesday, Friday, so.
I can't do Tuesday night like Marina, but we know Amber, that wouldn't work for you, so we'll probably need to pick another day.
Right.
I was talking to Amber earlier, and I was wondering if we could get some stuff on Sundays too, because I feel like we all agree in the first meeting, like the first meeting we had was Sunday, and we wanted to do Sunday. But it's
But Cheyenne has her church things going on Sunday.
Can do Sunday, it just has to be after 1. Actually, this Sunday.
But see, that doesn't work with me because I have to close, and then I can't make it on Sundays if it's after 1. Unless I'm off, but I'm not. I've worked every Sunday for like a year.
I'm willing to do. Wait, do you open this Sunday, Marina?
This Sunday I do open.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'm willing to do it before church, but.
Well, what time? Because no, JK, you guys are earlier than me, so we have to do it at 1 a.m. That works for everybody? All right, got it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, let's start a meeting at 1 a.m. That sounds fun.
Just being flexible.
Listen, guys, at 1 a.m., you do not want to see me.
We can have a PJ party.
all right, so what day, guys? Are we doing that on next weekend, the 9th? Okay, what day, everybody?
Well, let's just go down the week. Monday the 9th.
I can
I
do
close.
time. Oh, okay.
I have a hair appointment.
That's her hair appointment.
I had to move it, guys, because it was actually on Tuesday. I was devastated.
Oh no.
I've rescheduled it.
Tuesday
Wait,
was
what
gone, right? Tuesday.
Did
it
we
was
talk about Saturday the 7th?
Well, technically, it's before
That's
we're
too
supposed to do it again.
soon.
Too soon? Okay.
Yeah.
Just so that you guys know, well, I guess there technically is a little bit of work we have to do before this one. Okay. And we said Monday doesn't work?
No, and Tuesday didn't work. How about Wednesday?
Wednesday the 10th.
I thought Wednesday. It's the 11th.
Wednesday is the
Oh,
11th.
excuse me. Yes.
It's that Android calendar. Oh, you do not want a piece of me. I will whoop your behind. Okay?
I believe you.
My brother is 22. I got you. I promise.
All right, so Wednesday, anyone? Any takers?
I close. I work 2 to 10:30.
Dang it. I open
Yeah.
Wednesday, and then Thursday I work at 6.
I feel like my schedule's the most like contradicting because the close is like everyone else opens and I close, so it's like super hard to like work around that.
How about next Thursday?
The 12th, I close.
And I open Friday.
Ugh.
Dang it, why am I opening so much?
Wait, so why does Tuesday not work?
I'll tell you.
Marina and
Oh, Marina.
Oh, and you guys open on Tuesday?
I open on Wednesday.
Oh, what if we did it earlier on Tuesday? Like at mid-afternoon or something? Because I'm off. I'm off completely.
Amber has like
Earliest I could
her hair appointment. That's right.
On
Can we do
Tuesday.
it in the mornings? How early would we have to do it in the morning?
So I have to work at 7:30
Yeah.
on Monday through Friday. My availability is every day after really 5 o'clock during the week, and all day Saturday and Sunday is my availability.
I always have Sundays off, the whole Sunday. I don't work Sundays. But then during the week, it's like, whatever. One day I'll get it off. who knows what day.
And like I could probably because I have one other shift that does closes too, so I could probably see if I can switch with him if a certain day works better. Like if like Wednesday or Thursday is really good for us, like I could see if I can get off one of those days and switch it around.
Okay.
Can we do Wednesday or no?
I can't do Wednesday before like 9:30 Arizona time, which is really late for.
PM? Oh, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, that's 12:30 a.m.
Thursday?
I could make Thursday work.
Wait, what about Monday? Did we talk about that day? Probably.
I could
Monday the
switch
9th?
it. I close, but I could switch it probably.
I have to babysit that night
Okay. On the 9th.
on the 9th.
So what's Thursday or Friday looking like for us?
Friday I'm available until 5 p.m. So
Until 5 p.m. Okay.
yeah, probably not.
What does Thursday evening look like?
I close, but I can switch. I could probably make that happen. Make a switch happen.
I open Friday.
So if we did it like mid-afternoon, would that be fine?
It's just hard because the earliest Amber can do is 5, which is 8 for us.
Oh.
The earliest we could do it.
Oh.
What does Saturday morning look like, the 14th?
I open.
I open Saturdays. I work from 5 to 4.
And I close.
5 to 4.
Oof.
Gosh.
Why?
What kind of shift is that?
You
That's
guys
like
scheduled that?
11 hours.
Yeah, so one of the chefs can't make it, and I can't find anybody to work. So
Oh,
I
no.
Close the store.
no, I open and I'm a mid, pretty much.
No, I mean
Do it.
just shut it down.
I wish. I've been trying to figure out who can help me, and then I have a chef say I can come in for 2 hours. I was like, I don't need that petty. He can stay. 2 hours.
Guys, this one's a hard one.
This one is a hard one.
What about
We
Wait.
also,
until the 15th? So what does Sunday the 15th look like?
I'm open.
yeah, I'm good.
I close, but I could try to switch it. I'm down to try to switch anything, so.
What time on that day?
I'm available after 1. I'm free the rest of the day. Or I could do early morning before we'd have to be finished with our meeting by 10.
Well, Marina opens, right, on Sunday? So she
No, Sunday the 15th we're talking about?
yeah.
I can do Sunday the 15th because I don't work Monday, so.
Can we do in
Okay.
the afternoon? That Sunday?
You guys want to do afternoon? I'm down for afternoon.
Yeah, I can try to switch it.
Okay.
Quick question. Do we know when does module 4 stuff need to be done by? Because now we're waiting like over a week to do this
So
one.
module 4 opens the 16th.
Oh.
So we can't even do module 4 till the 16th?
We could.
We could, but
we did
we
this,
don't. It's
but technically we're supposed to wait until the 16th.
Okay, well I guess that kind of works out because
Yeah, I know we all said before that we don't like waiting till the last day, but in this case it sounds like it might be necessary for module 3.
yeah.
That on the bright side, that gives us a lot of time to go over the material and have it ready and just knock that meeting out. But it is the last day.
But that's kind of weird because this last one is pretty much only watch the video and feedback. So
yeah, it'll be a
that's
quick one.
Yeah. So it'll be
Are we trying to do module 4 on the 15th too?
I mean, I'd be down. We just do.
I would be down. I'm totally fine if we don't, but I'm down to do 2 videos that day.
It might be easier, and especially since we have so much time.
Has anybody looked at what Mod 4 looks like though?
it looks like it's a big one because she said don't leave for last minute because she said there's a lot of stuff to read. Like the first thing you click for module 4, it literally says the
So make sure I'm understanding. We're meeting today on the 5th, but we wouldn't be meeting again until the 15th.
correct. Yeah. Yeah, see, on the last thing on module 3, it says important note on module 4, and if you click in there, it says this is quite a bit of reading and videos to watch in Module 4. Please get an early start.
Well, and then Module 4, we have to go through, and I'm looking at the overview for it. This is where we develop our interview guide, and we need to decide our interviewee. And this needs to be done before the assignment meeting.
What I would suggest is maybe on Sunday we get all the feedback and stuff done, but during the week, during that whole week that we are probably not gonna have much to do, if everybody can we can use Google Docs or whatever and start trying to set up interview questions. That way we have some of them done for the meeting. I don't know if it's a thing.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cheyenne.
Sorry, really quick, and if we want to stick to the 15th, that's fine. But was I the only person who can't do Monday the 9th?
No,
No? Oh, yeah, you have your hair appointment.
I have a hair appointment.
Okay, never mind. Because I'm like, I can adjust babysitting if I need to.
Okay. So we're definitely doing the 30-minute video on Sunday the 15th. And just to gauge the room about doing Module 4 content video on the 15th, what are our thoughts?
Why don't
Like
you?
the same day.
You're emailing Dr. Chanley anyway, aren't you?
I can. I thought we said it wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think we agreed that it wasn't needed.
It was not necessary. I was going to say, well, maybe we can just ask her about this specifically. And what we can do is do the video for the first and then stop it and then start again for the next. So
that's what we have to do, because that's what she put in the instructions if we were to do both videos tonight.
Okay. Oh, so smart. Look at me.
Sorry. So do we want to do that? Because I'm totally fine if we don't, but I think it also might be good for scheduling purposes, because if it's a big module, I have Monday off, which means that I don't really have many other days off the next week. And I know going Sunday to Monday is going to be really soon.
We can do. Yeah, I'm down for it. Yeah, everybody's down.
Is anybody not down? Because I don't want to pressure anyone into it.
But what time are we doing it?
Okay.
Are we doing it Monday?
Sunday the 15th.
Oh, okay, good.
Standard.
I just asked my other shift if we could switch.
So we're looking at another 3 hours then, is essentially what we're stating then.
So
I don't think so. So the first video is supposed to be 30 minutes. The second video should theoretically be an hour to an hour and a half. So I would say an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is way less than,
Okay.
our last video.
So I'm
which
going
was
to be real with you guys. My birthday is on the 16th, and my family is going to be celebrating with me on the 15th. So does that mean that we can do it afternoon?
I think we
on
said
the 15th.
Yeah.
whenever on the 15th for me.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
And if maybe we can all just we can just really focus on keeping it short and sweet so that we can make sure we're out of there in 2 hours.
No, that's fine. I would just saying we would only be going to dinner anyway. I was just saying if it's during the afternoon, that's fine for me versus me not being able to go and celebrate.
So let's real quick.
Yeah, that would suck.
Real quick, because I know we have to kind of go over. We have to, I guess, bank on Aaron being able to properly switch shifts and whatnot. But what time are we looking at? Let's estimate the time frame.
I am free after 1.
After 1, okay.
Amber, what works best with you?
So we could do 2 o'clock so you have a chance to get home and get refreshed for you. So what would that be for you, the time for you then? I can't remember. Are you in the same time zone?
You guys are same time. You guys are same time zone.
2 o'clock would be perfect then, Arizona time.
Okay, but for Aaron, if you get to switch shifts, can you get off by 1:30?
If I switch shifts, I'll be totally off on Sunday.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, okay.
So I'd be free whenever.
Okay, so if it's 2 o'clock for us, that's looking at 11 a.m. for you guys.
5.
Aaron?
5 p.m. We're later.
Oh,
Yeah, 3 hours forward.
I keep doing
And
that.
then and then Isadora, it would be 1 for you, right?
Yeah, I'm fine because I don't work Sundays at all.
Okay, cool. So that's good with everybody.
So let's aim for 2 p.m. to make sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
Amber, will that
And that would be 5 for us.
dinner?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
What happened?
Will that give you enough time to get ready for your dinner?
Yes, thank you. It
Okay.
would. Mhm.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, Aaron, you'll let us know if you get it switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Fast. All right. The very last thing I want to bring up is, so we do the module 3 assignment, and then are we going to switch facilitator and are we going to switch those roles if we're going to do the videos back to back, or do we just want to like keep them the same for those two?
I think it'd be easier to keep them the same if we're gonna do them back to back. That way we're keeping the time pretty, like, no one has to, we don't have to restate our roles and stuff after the, the switch.
Right. And then
We just stay in the same Zoom meeting probably, like,
No,
or do we have to do
end
it?
it and then
Otherwise.
restart it?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Just to submit 2 different videos.
I got you.
Yeah. Then maybe we'll just switch roles for the following meeting, not the same day, but
for the
Okay.
Right.
yeah.
Everybody good with that? Cool.
Well, I would say that there's enough time for whoever would be the next, or for us to switch our roles for the next meeting, because this would be module 4. We want to make sure that everybody has enough opportunity to do each one.
But it is true. There's a lot of time in between.
Okay, cool. Then should we just pick the roles now?
Probably.
Just
For
the next
module
time.
4.
Yeah, probably.
And there's no jokester for the next one, or the next. And there's
Oh,
no ice
Aaron, you heard her. You can't be here.
Not for the next assignment. There's not an icebreaker, and there's not a jokester listed. So
Sad.
No funny business.
I know.
We'll see.
Okay. Do we just want to pick them? I can be the timekeeper.
I'll be the submitter for module.
Can I, would it be all right if I wanted to be the facilitator?
Yeah.
Of course.
Is that cool? Okay, so I'll be a Mod 4 facilitator.
I can be the host if you show me how to do it, because I don't know. But yeah, I can be the host.
Cool.
I'll be the.
What's left?
I think you're challenger.
Yeah.
Challenger? For me? Oh, okay. Write that down so I don't forget. And so it's just making sure it's Sunday, September 15th, 2 p.m. Arizona, 1 p.m. for Isadora, and 5 p.m. for us.
Yes.
Me and Marina. Okay.
Cool.
And then we're gonna have, so we have the only thing we have to do for the module 3 part is the video, or like the team 6 video, and then we'll like discuss that for the agenda, and then we do the next one too, right?
Yes.
And the first
And
meeting
then so
will be
what's-
about 30 minutes.
Yeah. And then so for the second meeting on that same day, what all do we have to have done before that?
It's going to be the module 4 content, like notes.
For content notes. Okay.
If you want, I can like text it in the group chat tomorrow. Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
And that's learning materials part 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just cut out. Okay, cool.
All right. Any other questions?
No.
Awesome.
Actually, I have a question. So in the event, I'm pretty sure, because my other shift is pretty flexible, hoping he will, but in the event I can't switch, I don't know, is there like another time we could set aside maybe?
Were there any other days that worked for everyone?
Not really.
I mean, like, worst comes to absolute worst. If you can't switch, Aaron, just let us know, and then we can do it. Like, the night you close and I open the next day, we can just do it that night.
And that would be what day?
Monday.
The
Or that
9th.
would be Monday the 9th.
Literally, no. Because I
Oh,
opened that
11th.
day.
I
What
thought it
day?
was Wednesday or Thursday. That
It would be Tuesday. We could do Tuesday. No, Paul, you can't do Tuesday night, right?
If we have to as a backup, I can do Tuesday night.
What about Wednesday night? Aaron, you close?
Yeah.
Theoretically, I can do Wednesday night. but I like open the next day, so it's not ideal because I have to wake up at 3, but I can do it if nothing else works for anybody else.
What if we split that one up into 2 different days instead of doing it in one? That way you could just do like the 30-minute on that day and we figure it out from there.
Yeah.
We could do something like that. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get it off, so I wouldn't fret too much, but I will definitely keep you guys updated.
Yeah, okay. Just let us know whenever you figure it out.
Yeah, it's pretty late, so I don't think he's gonna respond to me right now, but I'll definitely let you guys know as soon as I know.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, guys?
That's it.
I think that's it.
We're good.
Great meeting.
Awesome.
See you guys the 15th.
15th.
Guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you can say